Hello everyone, this is Joe and thanks for coming back for another video. I have an up-and-coming project here where I'm going to take the roof of a pop-up camper and I'm going to re-insulate it. The roof on the pop-up camper is fairly flexible, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a test with Gorilla Glue, which is a polyurethane based glue that has a foaming action, which it increases 3 to 4 times its initial size, and we're going to see if we can bond some insulating foam to the cardboard using the Gorilla Glue, and then see if that's going to provide an adequate bonding of the foam to the cardboard. So let's go ahead and get started and let's see how this is going to work. Because Gorilla Glue is a polyurethane based adhesive, it interacts with water. So what we want to do is we don't want to get any water in the actual container because it will start to harden. So what we want to do is take some Gorilla Glue that we're going to use and we're going to put it in a separate container. And whatever we use from the container we're going to throw away when we're done, because what we're going to do first off is brush some water onto one of the surfaces that's going to be mounted to the foam, which is going to have the Gorilla Glue applied to it with a brush. So then if you get any water into the Gorilla Glue, you do not want to pour it back into the container because it will start to harden on you. So this will be a separate process. So first of all, what we want to do, we want to take our Gorilla Glue and we want to brush it onto our foam backing. And if we need some more, we just put some more in our container. It actually doesn't smell that bad. Some adhesives really stink, give off a very toxic odor, but this stuff is not too terribly bad. You have a working time with this of 10 to 15 minutes, so that should be plenty of time to get this spread out on the surface here that we're trying to bond to. Now I'm putting this on fairly thinly. It says not to apply it too thick. So what we're going to do now with a different paintbrush is we're going to apply water on the second surface. And then when you put the foam to the cardboard, in this case, the water will create the interaction between the polyurethane adhesive on the foam and then start the bonding process to the Gorilla Glue on the insulation. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip it over, we're going to push down on the foam, and then what I'm going to do is put something heavy on that foam to create a good surface bond. So now we have that on here. We're going to let this set now for 2 hours, and then we're going to come back, and on half of it we're going to try to separate it and see how much of a bond the Gorilla Glue does have to the cardboard. The other half we're going to let it cure the full 24 hours, and then we'll do the same just to see. According to the directions, after 2 hours you should have 80% of the strength in the actual bonded surface. So let's go ahead, let this cure for 2 hours, and then we're going to come back and take a peek. It's been about 20 minutes since we joined the two pieces, the cardboard and the foam, together. And I just want to point out, look along the edge of the cardboard and the foam. As you can see, the Gorilla Glue is starting to foam up. And according to the directions, it's supposed to expand between 3 4 times its original thickness. So if you can see here, it's really nicely started to expand out. So that's what's supposed to provide excellent bonding, is that foam or polyurethane is supposed to start expanding into a foam, and that's supposed to provide you exceptional bonding. The time now is 1 hour after I originally did the bonding between the foam and the cardboard. Notice the size of the foaming now, and there's a big bulge right here, is lightly tacky, starting to cure up. So as you can see, the foaming expands quite a bit. It's been over 3 hours now, and I cut the piece of foam in half. The left hand side I'm going to let fully cure for 24 hours, and on the right side it's cured over 3 hours. What I want to do now is to do some testing on this. The reason why I mounted the foam to the cardboard is the roof in my camper is a flexible rubberized canvas. So I wanted to get an idea of how the foam is going to interact with a flexible backing. So let's go ahead and try to do some testing here. I want to see just how flexible and strong this Gorilla Glue is going to be. Again, the roof doesn't flex that much, but as you can see, when I bend it, the foam is flexing, and I don't see any separation. Let's try to... Okay, so it did peel away from the foil backing, but it did grab really strong on that foil backing. So I'm not going to, the camper roof is not going to bend that much, but it is going to flex a little bit. So I'm quite impressed with the flexible capability of this bond. Again, there's no way the roof is going to bend back that far. If anything, as you're driving, it's just going to flex a little bit. And again, I'm happy with those results. So we'll come back after 24 hours and we'll do a test on the other piece. But based on what I've seen and on the foam after about 3-hour cure, I think it's going to be just fine for my needs. It's now been 24 hours. Let's go ahead. The bulges of the polyurethane glue, they are really hard. So let's go ahead. The reason why I wanted to wait a full 24 hours, I want to make sure it's still somewhat flexible. Oh, I really like that. It's not, the glue is not pulling away from the cardboard at all, and the foam is still flexible to the point. Again, the canvas top on the RV or the camper is not going to flex that much, but it is going to flex a little bit. So I'm quite impressed with that. So I'm going to go ahead and use this technique when I do install the insulation of the foam on my camper roof. So hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time.